Okay, so now we're gonna start cooking this omelet. Okay, so as I was talking in the beginning, we're gonna use 3 eggs. So I cracked 3 eggs and I just put it in a bowl. Use whatever bowl that you have. You can even do this on a kind of a soup dish or a plate. It doesn't really matter, but definitely a bowl is better because we want to be able to aerate the eggs. Now, if you have one of these mixing things, not everybody has these, but these are very affordable too, even at a local, you know, general Dollar Tree type of store. These are just everywhere. And then a fork, but everybody has a fork, right? So let's just kind of keep it traditional. Just keep it this fork, keep it simple. I would say this is kind of a luxury thing, but I like doing it authentically because we always learn growing up just getting a fork and do it. So let's just kind of keep it that way. Keep it simple and keep it sincere here. All right. So now we want to go side by side, right, with the eggs. So we want to make sure, and I'm going back and forth with the fork. And I like to do this turning motion with my hand to get a good whip, right? So let me just move this out of the way right now because that's not going to be needed quite yet. See, I'm turning it. It's like this motion. So see, I'm just doing this. Okay. Now this is good enough already. You just want to make sure it's mixed and you can just throw it in. But you know what? I'm going to share how I like to do it, which is I like to get a little bit more fluff on it. So I'm going to just keep on aerating it. Okay, so you see I'm just turning around and eventually, nice. I want fluffy. I want to get that fluffiness out of the egg, and this is how you would do it. Just keep doing this. And usually if you have it lower towards your waist or something, like I'm just low, you can't see it, but I have it lower, it helps with the mixing, which is a technique. Oh, I have an egg. Ew. You pay attention here, some of it's falling in there, but that's okay because I'm going to be heating up the pan shortly, so that's going to be actually utilized. So I'm not, probably why I kept it over the pan. So I'm just keep on doing this. Remember, it was already mixed, probably a minute ago. You wanted just to make sure it's mixed. You go, but what I want to achieve is a lighter fluffiness of the egg, which will give it this nice fluffy and light inside. Now what we would do with the omelet, we don't want to add salt right away because salt starts pulling and it could get a little hard, makes the egg hard. I always add salt once the egg is about to be poured in. Okay, that's a little trick to embrace there. Now I'm gonna warm up the pan now. But what I will add to this is white pepper and even some cracked black pepper. But white pepper is a thing that for sure is a great component into adding into my omelet. So I'll add some pepper, white pepper and black pepper, okay, and some salt, kosher salt. Okay, so now I'm heating up this pan. The pan is getting heated up, and the pan that I'm using is just an 8-inch. Is it 8-inch? Yeah, I think it's an 8-inch. Yeah, let me double check. Yeah, 8-inch. I don't know why I'm doubting myself there, but it is 8-inch. Just to make sure, I don't want to false advertise here. The 8-inch is good enough for a 3-egg omelet. If you had, say, a 9 or a 10-inch, you would be able to get a little flatter, which is probably more ideal for a French style, but you can still do it with this small one too. It's just learning your pan. Okay, so I want to get a little fluffy, so sometimes I like, some people don't like it over fluffy, but I'm just sharing this technique. Just try it. It doesn't matter, but I want to give it a certain consistency that makes it really refined and it has this nice, delicate, souffle-ish type of vibe to it. This is what you would do. Okay, good. I like that. You see the bubbles? Nice little bubbles. So that's kind of a trick. It almost looks like if you poured like nice pulp orange juice, and that's how it looks like you're whipping orange juice like a drink. Sometimes it reminds me of that. Now, as this is getting hot, now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to add maybe like a little tablespoon of butter. Not too much. Butter's your friend. Make sure it's all coated because I definitely want it. Stir it around the pan like so. See, you just do this. Nothing hard. You can use your spatula to do it. I have a silicone type of spatula to use, which is ideal, remember, for their non-stick pans. If you want to keep them long, this is the way to do it. Okay, even some people will buy these type of copper non-stick, pans, and they'll still use a fork. I've seen that. I'm like, ooh, but it's not gonna last that long. You don't need to prove anything. Just you want to make it last as long as you can, because you're gonna always have to buy new ones. Okay, so now I always make sure to keep it fluff. So remember, we're gonna implement now using some mushrooms and onions, right? See if you can see that. Okay, there it is. I have some cheese, so I'm just gonna start cooking this thing. Now I'm gonna put just a little bit of, you can see I'm not putting too much, just a little dash of white pepper. Mix it. And if you like black pepper, I like black pepper. I like to do both. Just do a little bit, just to give it something. You don't have to. Now, if you have fresh herbs, what's great about an omelet, you can use whatever you want. Any type of vegetables, fresh onions. If you want to like cook vegetables or onions or garlic, this is when you would want to put it in. Okay, so that would be my suggestion on that. But since we're just utilizing some basic stuff here, okay, I got the butter is nice and melted. Let's just throw it in. There we go. Now I don't have it on high heat. Okay, so once I pour it all in, but the thing I forgot to add a little bit of salt, just a pinch of kosher salt. See, usually I would, right before pouring in, I would put it actually in the bowl like that and stir it and then pour it. But I was getting ahead of myself here, but just do a little pinch like that. Okay, let me put this away off to the side. Now, this is right when you pour it in, I start stirring. Okay, now this is the same thing you would have to do in a French style omelet too, because you don't want it to burn in the bottom if you want to wait until maybe the end to coat it. So I just do this. Okay, this helps get the eggs cooked more evenly too. Or the other technique is let it sit, but then you could just do this fold in technique like this. See? And tip it. There you go. You got this other side. Do that. You could do like 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and then do 9 o'clock. You push it in, and that also helps with the process too. But just by me doing the stirring in right away already helped, because we want to get it cooked a certain way, right? So that's a good way. See, I tilt it. See what I did there? So I'm just you always got to kind of watch your egg. And I have it on medium heat. This is an electric stove that I'm cooking with here, so I have it like on 6 or 7. So that's all what I'm doing. I'm just trying to get it cooked here. You could smash up and try to move all that in, because it's going to get cooked pretty fast. Eggs do turn. See if I could get some more of that wonderful egg. See, so you kind of draining the top. And see, now get crack a little bit more, get some of that in there, and that's kind of the whole reason of it. Now, so once I have it like this, see the egg, see it's all going to get cooked. Remember, there's always layover cooking time when we do this. So now look at our wonderful, this is when you could, if you want to add any other stuff or spinach or anything, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to coat with a little Parmesan cheese just to kind of get it in there. This is when you would want to add your cheese, and you could also add it on the top too, but I'm going to do it inside, then I'll top it off with some more Parmesan, right? And look at, then I could put the actual mushroom, and I have it on low because it's about done now. Look, I'm just going to put this mushrooms. Oops. Oopsies. Okay. Yeah, it might be a little bit too much. You don't have to put too much. Some people overcrowding. You don't need that much subtlety. Okay, here we go. Because I'm going to cook some more stuff with this too. So that's how I'm thinking about it too. I'm like, okay, I want to be able to utilize this for some other things too. So I'm just using it for today. Now I have this omelet. And I have this avocado. This is when I'll probably want to put some avocado in it. Like so. See, just laying it in. There's no... But I like to keep it on one side because what's going to happen, I'm going to fold it onto the plate. Okay. But you could put it anywhere, but I think I kind of want it making sure I have it in every bite. I like avocado, so this is just some things. Mushroom and avocado and onions. Come on, you can't go wrong with that. I always like to put a little bit of salt. You could always on my avocado just to kind of add to the layers of flavoring here. Now, it's all doesn't matter. Just a little bit more pepper. It's more about the technique. Let me grab a plate here. So I'm going to show. See now, like if you see how it's already moving, this is ready to go. Okay, so what's going to happen is, look at how I'm doing this. Just sliding it down. You see I'm sliding it down. Then once it gets, and make sure you mark my pan is actually touching the plate. Then as it gets halfway, you could just fold it like so. So folded country style. Look at how beautiful that looks. See, you know, you could always reshape it. It's folded. And what's happening right now too, keep in mind the egg is still cooking. It's a nice little brown. Then what you could do, you could always add more garnish, or if I had some fresh parsley, I would throw some parsley on it or some fresh herbs. But I'm just a little fresh Parmesan Reggiano. See, that's what I did. See, pretty cool, right? It's not that hard. It's just, but you notice I was always paying attention to the pan. And then what you want to do is always rinse it off or wipe it for the next omelet if you're going to do multiple omelets in the pan. So you don't want to start adding fresh egg in here. You got to set it off to the side, wipe it, go to the, you know, rinse it off on the sink, in the sink, and then just start it from scratch. And make sure the pan is not too hot, because you don't want to overheat the pan as well. So if it's already like at max temperature, to lower the heat or set the pan off to the side. And just once you got the other eggs whipped up, then start from scratch again. That's just to make sure everything is good, because we don't want to overheat these type of non-stick pans because of chemicals that could come out of it that are harmless. That are not harmless. I mean harm. They cause harm. Erase that harmless part. You don't want it to be harm. You want it to be harmless when you're cooking. So there you go. A little basic country style American omelet there. There you go. Now I'm gonna eat this thing.
Ooh, look at that.
Figure I would share with my host here.
Oh. Whoa, and look at that. Look at how beautiful. These are perfectly cooked mushrooms. There are so many layers of flavor in this. Okay, I'm really into the perfect bite. So I see some avocado here too. Ooh, and some...
I made it with caramelized onion.
I was just going to say, I'm going to pick up some of those onions. I'm going to get the perfect little bite. Now it has everything there. Wow. Oh my God. Oop. This is so delicious, you guys. You have to make this.
So if you liked anything that you just saw, first, like and subscribe, and then you will find the link to this amazing course. I'll check you all out in the next class.